Hey guys. So I wanted to get into the next part of this since it's been a couple days. I forgot to mention something that happened while my sister was at my house. She had been posting stuff about everyone she knew on her Facebook at this time, like calling them out for stuff, and she had posted something about my now ex, who I was still with, on her Facebook, saying that she put a picture of him with our kids and said, he's cheated himself out of a family of angels. And I didn't really care that she put that, but I'm like, you can't say that while you're staying in our home. He's gonna get pissed if he sees it. She's like, oh, that's fine, that's fine. I'll erase it, you know. And then after she got arrested, he found out about it, and he was mad, and I wasn't. I was just like, she talks a lot of crap. Look what she said about everyone else in her life too. And we just kind of forgot about it. Well, it was a couple days later when I started getting like my psychic abilities. And I started getting this message from God, the universe, spirit, whatever. And it said, a woman named Jessica is going to try to come between your family. And I was like, I didn't really know what I was hearing, at first. But I mean, it was loud, and I kept hearing it over and over, and I'm like, I gotta say something to him, and yeah, so I told him, I said, I keep getting this message that there's a woman named Jessica who's gonna come between our family. And he like blew up on me. I mean, he was like screaming in my face, F you, bitch, F you, bitch. Like, he wouldn't even let me get out a word. And I'm like, I didn't accuse you of cheating. This is just what I'm hearing from, like, I don't know from what. It was really weird for me because nothing like that had happened to me before. And, I mean, I've dealt with a lot of neglect in my life. I've never been screamed at like that. So I packed up our kids and went to my mom's for the night. And apparently, I took, like, my protection with me because the very next morning he was arrested on an old drug charge. And I just kind of forgot about his treatment of me. I went into protection mode and called out our entire town basically and said it was bullshit, how old it was, and that they wanted him to try to like set up drug dealers when the whole reason we moved here was to get away from bad influences and the drug dealers we knew. And yeah, so hang on a second. Okay, that was awkward. Yeah, so I called out our entire town. I said what bullshit it was to, you know, fuck around with him over something so stupid and little. And yeah, everyone was shocked. Everyone, no one really saw it coming. People from my town, like my doctor and a few other people, started calling me to make sure I wasn't mad at them. Or I wasn't gonna say I don't know what they were calling me about actually, but it was really weird. And at that time we had gotten our taxes back, and they gave him a really low bond, and I went and got him out. And the next day he met his probation officer, and it was a woman named Jessica. So that was the message I was getting, but he thought I was accusing him of cheating. That really was the beginning of the end, though, because, like I said, I'm not going to deal with people screaming in my face. I don't scream in people's face. I expect a little more respect than that, I know he was, like, frustrated or whatever, but I don't think it's really a good excuse. But we tried to just, keep going with what we were doing. And it was at that time I looked into the people my sister had told me about. Not really the one she told me was my soulmate, because I still was like, no, that's bullshit. But, yeah, the person she was basically obsessed with, I looked into, and it's like, wow, she's so lucky. So this person is, like, the things he thought and said aligned so much with the way I think and the things I was saying, just on a much smaller scale. But I don't know, he really inspired me, intrigued me. I was, yeah, blown away, really. And I saw his, like, effect on people who were going through really hard things, like, what a good influence he was on them. And I don't know, I just thought he was amazing. What happened next? Oh, yeah, he messaged me a few days later. Get into that later.